Hello and good morning. My name is Akmal Shafika binti Muhammad Rahim. My matrix number is A21B003 EP. And then I'm going to present to you about data descriptions. Data description, the data set is about 392 vehicles to compare the vehicle's performance according to its variable. The variable of the data set are the fuel consumption, liter per 100 km, the travel distance kilometer per liter, and the total number of engine cylinders, the total horsepower, and the weight of the brand. There are two kinds of variables, which are qualitative and quantitative variables. So first, for ungrouped data, brand and number of cylinder. So the brand Opel have 82 frequency, Datsun 44, Citroen 52, Ford 45, Honda 93, BMW 47, Mercedes 16, Audi 13. Number of cylinder 3, frequency 4, and then 4 199, 5 3 6 83, and 8 103. So as you can see the data here, this is a liter per 100 divided by 9 class using class interval 4.2. As by for the second table, as you can see the KPL divided by 9 class using class interval 0.21. Meanwhile, for the horsepower, as you can see the class divide by 9 class using 9 class interval 4.2. So we get the frequency by the for the next, for the weight, divide by 9 using class interval 0.932.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faiz bin Abdul and metric number is A22A004 EP. Today I'm gonna present my part, which is graphical representation using software. Graphical representation refers to the use of intuitive charts to clearly visualize and simplify data sets. Data entered into graphing software and then represented by a variety of symbols, such as line in a line chart, bar in a bar chart, or slice in a pie chart. Besides, these two variables are quantitative variables data so that both can be represented by a scalar plot, histogram, frequency polygon, or GIF. From the graph, we can see the fuel consumption at midpoint versus frequency. We can see the higher frequency of fuel consumption is at midpoint 3.72. From the pie chart, we can see the distribution of the brand of the car according to its relative frequency. Opel is 29183675, while Datsun 11224498, Citroen 13.2653012, Ford 11.479599184, Honda 23.7244898, BMW 11.989799592, Mercedes 4.08163263, and Audi 3.31632631. We can conclude that Honda has the highest car. From the cylinder bar chart, we can see the distribution of the number of cylinders according to its frequency. We can conclude most vehicles have 4 number of cylinder built inside them. From the horsepower or GIF, the graph starts at 0.455, where the cumulative frequency is 0. We can see many sets of data from this graph. For example, as less than 1.5 wave, the frequency is less than 300. And lastly, is wave histogram boundaries. From the graph, we can see the wave at upper and lower boundary versus frequency. We can see the highest frequency of wave is at 2.3965 until 2.785 boundary. We can conclude that most waves in the vehicle are between 2.3965 until 2.785 because it frequent at AFT time. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ikhwan Syafiq bin Zulkifli. Metric number A22B0026 EP. I'm going to present my part, which is numeric descriptive measure. For numeric descriptive measure, we have 3 types of measure, and that is measure of center tendency, measurement of position, and measurement of variation. A measure of center tendency is a value that represents the center of a distribution. 3 most commonly used measure of the tendency for ungrouped and grouped data are mean, median, and mode. While measurement of position is to determine the measurement of position, the data must be sorted from lowest to highest. The different measure of position are quartiles. Divide the data set into 4 equal parts. Deciles, divide the data set into 10 equal parts, and percentiles, divide the data set into 100 equal parts. And lastly is measure of variation. A measure of variation is some parameters that attempt to describe the amount of variation between random variables. 3 parameters are used to quantify the amount of variation in a set of random variables, such as range, variance, and standard deviation. For brands, a measure of center tendency, for mean we got 49, median 46, and mode is Honda. While measurement of position for quartile, we got 2.25 position, Q1 6.75 position, Q3 30.5, and measure of variation for range is 80. Variation 780.571, and standard deviation is 27.9387. For liter per 100, a measure of center tendency for mean, we got 4.827 and median 3.89 and mode is 3.307, while measurement of position for quartile 1 we got 2.77 and quartile 3 is 5.629. Therefore, the sample variance is for 2885.642 and the sample standard deviation is about 53.718 liter per 100. For KPL, a measure for center tendency, for mean we got 23.361 median, 21.918 and mode is 19.195. While measurement of position for quarter 1 we got 16.50 and quartile and quartile 3 is 28.973, while measure for variation for interquartile range is 12.470. Therefore, the sample variance is about 44647.78 and the sample standard variation is about 211.13. For cylinder, a measure of center tendency for mean is 78.4, median 83 and mode is number of cylinder 4, where measurement of position for quartile 1 is 3.25 and quartile 3 is 175, while measure of variation for range is 196. Therefore, the sample variance is about 6597.8 and the sample standard deviation is about 81.23. The horsepower for mean we got 1.123, median 0.55 and mode is 0.50. Quartile 1 we got 0.25 and quartile 3 is 0.84. While measure for variation for interquartile range is 0.59. Therefore, the sample variance is about 265.82 and the sample standard deviation is about 16.30. For weight, a measure of center tendency for mean is 2.99, median 2.32 and mode is 2.01, while measurement for position for quartile 1 is 1.12 and quartile 3 is 3.18, while measure for variation for range is 2.06. Therefore, the sample variance is about 1200.44 and the sample standard deviation is about 34.65. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello and good day to everyone. My name is Chong Gawai and metric number is A21800029EP. Today I'm gonna present my part, which is hypothesis analysis. The hypothesis is a proposition statement or assumption based on some previous observation about the value of a population parameter for testing purpose. Well, hypothesis testing is a process based on some sample data and probability theory to conclude whether the hypothesis will to reject or can be rejected. In this part, we are using an independent sample t-test and ANOVA to measure that the hypothesis is reasonable and should not be rejected or otherwise rejected. In hypothesis testing, we use the independent sample t-test and ANOVA table. We show in detail the 5 main steps which are still new and alternate hypothesis, significant level, SPSS output, detection rule, and detection. By using an independent sample t-test, we can conclude that the mean is equal to change in each group, and by using the ANOVA test, we get a conclusion of there is a significant difference among the treatment. That's all from me for a summary of correlation analysis. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nik Muhammad Alif Hazwan bin Mazlan, and metric number is A22B0030EP. Today I'm gonna present my part which is correlation analysis. Correlation analysis is a statistical technique used to determine how two variables are related. In statistics, the word correlation refers to the relationship between two variables. A relationship exists when change in one variable accompanied by consistent and predictable change in the other variable. In our analysis, we show in detail the 5 main steps which are state, null and alternate, hypothesis, significance level, SPSS, output, decisions rule, and decisions based on hypothesis, HO. There is no correlation between blank, diameter 100, kPl, cylinder, horsepower, and weight YH1. There is a correlation between blank, diameter 100, kPl, cylinder, horsepower, and weight. For step 2, significant level S in symbol alpha is 0.005, and for step 3, SPSS output as shown in the figure, correlation in significant at the 0.01 level. Other than that, for decision rule, we got 3,20461587E-07. Last step for correlation analysis is the decisions. The low value show that the relation between kPl and cylinder span in the class is very low. That's all for me for summary of correlation analysis.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ainul Shakir bin Zakaria. Metric number A22B0043EP. I'm going to present my part, which is confidence interval. A confidence interval is a range of value that is used to estimate an unknown population parameter with a certain level of confidence. It provides a measure of the uncertainty or variability associated with an estimate based on a sample from the population. When conducting statistic analysis, such as estimating the population mean, proportion, or other parameters, research or analysts often work with a sample of data rather than the entire population due to practical limitation. The confidence interval helps them to infer information about the true population parameter based on the sample data. Confidence intervals are valuable in business statistics as they provide a range of plausible value for the population parameter, allowing decision maker to assess the reliability of the estimate and make informed business decision based on the level of confidence they require. Using where the significance level 1009 minus 95%, 5%. The confidence limit range from 70.360 to 86.4040. Above 95% of the similarly
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faizuddin Asraf bin Muhammad Fauzi. Metric number is A22L0042EP. I'm going to present my part, which is a predation modeling. Predation modeling refers to the process of using statistical technique and data analysis to make prediction about future outcome or event in a business context. It involves building mathematical models based on historical data, forecast future trends, identify potential risks, and guide decision making. It allows us to use several variables at once to explain the variation in a continuous depends variable. It also allows us to isolate the unique effect of one variable on the resultant dependent variable, while considering that other variables are affecting it too. Thus, every value of independent variable is potentially related to the dependent variables. Y is the value of the dependent variable. BO, B1, BK are parameter. X1, X2, Xk are no constants. E the error term. In our analysis, predict where we guide for 83 cylinder and 2.99 weight, while for the predation is 22.32173. The BO is the intercept value, which is negative 0.404. B1 value is state for predation on 83 cylinder data. X1 value is confidence value in the regression model table summary state 0.22587. B2 value is state from predation on 2.99 weight data. X2 value is confidence value in the regression model table summary state 1.32668. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Norbaya binti Ramlan. Matrix number is A21B0030EP. I'm going to be speaking to you about my part, which is concluding remarks. In summary, with the data we obtain in our lecture, we can perform all the statistical calculation we need for this report. We use 6 fields, which is liter per hundreds, KPL, cylinder, horsepower, weight and breadth. We also calculate the class interval frequency, cumulative frequency, relative frequency, midpoint, upper boundaries and lower boundaries to complete the graphical representation. For some of these values, the difference between the manually calculated and the SPSS system is very large, especially for standard deviation and variance. In contrast, there are no difference between the manually calculate and SPSS output for the range, maximum and minimum of the data entry. In hypothesis testing, we use the independent sample t-test and ANOVA table. We show in detail the 5 main steps, which are state new and alternative hypothesis, significant weight level, SPSS output, decision rules and decision. Finally, we'll also perform correlation analysis by using a correlation table. Using the SPSS is a very useful tool for our group to solve the confidence interval. In addition, we construct a theoretical regression model that allows us to use several variables at once to expand the variation in a continuous dependent variables to form a multiple linear regression. Thank you for me.